In November 2023, the tech world watched in absolute shock. The board of OpenAI had just fired Sam Altman. It looked like the most valuable AI startup on Earth was about to collapse overnight. But while Silicon Valley panicked, one man stepped in to execute the ultimate corporate heist. Within 48 hours, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella offered to hire Altman and his entire team, forcing the OpenAI board to completely surrender. This wasn't a rescue mission. It was the climax of a brilliant, multi-year strategic trap. Microsoft has poured over $13 billion into OpenAI, owns 49% of its commercial profits, and completely runs its cloud infrastructure. Yet, on paper, Microsoft doesn't own OpenAI at all. Welcome to the Weekly Synergy. Today, we are breaking down the absolute genius and terrifying risk of the ultimate corporate loophole. To understand how we got here, we have to look at what both companies desperately lacked back in 2019. Microsoft was a tech titan, but it was desperately losing the cool factor to Google and Apple. More importantly, Google was leading the artificial intelligence race with DeepMind. Microsoft needed cutting-edge AI fast. OpenAI, on the other hand, was founded as a nonprofit. Their mission was to build safe, artificial general intelligence to benefit humanity, but they hit a massive roadblock. Training large language models like GPT required an astronomical amount of computing power. Nonprofit donations couldn't cover a billion-dollar server bill. OpenAI needed money, and they needed cloud infrastructure. If Microsoft simply bought OpenAI, two things would happen. First, it would destroy OpenAI's core mission, causing their top researchers to quit. Second, U.S. antitrust regulators would immediately block the deal to prevent a monopoly, so they engineered a structure that had never been seen before. OpenAI created a commercial, cap-profit subsidiary. Microsoft invested billions into this specific branch. The deal was structured like an onion. First, Microsoft gets 75% of the profits until their investment is paid back. Then they get 49% of the profits until a specific cap is reached. Crucially, Microsoft gets 0 voting seats on the actual nonprofit board. But here's the real kicker. Microsoft can just hand over $13 billion in cold, hard cash. A massive portion of that investment came in the form of Azure cloud credits. Essentially, Microsoft gave OpenAI a gift card to use Microsoft's own servers. The money Microsoft invested went straight back into Microsoft's own data centers. That is peak synergy. For years, this loophole worked flawlessly. Microsoft integrated GPT-4 into Windows, Office, and Bing, transforming itself into the most valuable company in the world. But the strategy was too successful. Regulators in the US, UK, and Europe started asking questions. If it walks like an acquisition and talks like an acquisition, is it an acquisition? The Federal Trade Commission launched an antitrust inquiry. They are investigating whether Microsoft's massive influence over OpenAI bypasses traditional merger laws. By controlling the infrastructure and holding exclusive commercial rights, Microsoft achieved total market dominance without ever triggering a standard regulatory review. The Microsoft OpenAI partnership will go down in business history as a masterclass in corporate synergy. It allowed a legacy giant to leapfrog the entire tech industry, and it gave a young startup the muscle to change the world. But as regulators close in, this $13 billion loophole faces its ultimate test. Can a partnership built on a legal technicality survive the scrutiny of global governments? If you want to understand the hidden forces shaping the future of tech, business, and finance, make sure to hit that subscribe button. This has been the Weekly Synergy. See you next week. Thank you.